Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting a well-beloved Black Library character. Yes, we have Gregor Eisenhorn. Here he is. You guys have been asking me for this one for a very long time, so we are finally doing it. So, we're not going to beat about the bush, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting him. He has been primed in Grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Black Legion. Now there is a lot of black details on Eisenhorn, as is only befitting of an Inquisitor, but the first place we're going to start is on his coat. And we're just going to apply this Black Legion to the outside of the coat. However, all kinds of layers and things going on here, so one thing you have to watch out for is that you might end up crossing into a bit that is actually an inside part of the coat. But it's not just his coat that's black, because he's kind of got an outer coat and an inner coat. So he has a shirt as well, of course, which is kind of this section here, but we don't want to do the sleeves or the collar. There's also various little pouches and things that are also going to be Black Legion to watch out for. His gloves are black as well, and so is his hair. So we're going to be applying Black Legion over a lot of details. I'd recommend having the box art or the product photography from the website in front of you. There is a 360-degree photo on the Games Workshop website that you can use. Just take your time, find all of these areas, and then once that's all done, we'll come back. So with all of that Black Legion applied, as you can see, there's a lot. What we're then going to do is take some Blood Angels Red, and we're going to apply this over the top of, again, another quite a few different areas. So we're looking at the inside of the cloths, coats, leathers. There's also a purity seal to apply this over. Again, I would recommend having that product photography in front of you. Just as a helpful guide. with all of that Blood Angel's red applied, we're then going to take some Leviadon Blue. And we're going to apply this over the top of his trousers. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. And we're going to apply this over the top of his boots, his cuffs, and his collar. So with that all done, what we're then going to do is take some Terradon Turquoise. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of the kind of inquisitorial armory and sort of coloury bits. So we're going to be looking at the shoulders. That sort of thing, but also at these canisters he has on his back and in his hand. And with that Terradon Turquoise applied, we're then going to take some Guilliman Flesh. We're going to apply this over the top of Eisenhorn's face. Where he will never smile again. With that Guilliman Flesh applied, we then want to take some Skeleton Horde, and we're going to apply this over the top of the parchment here on the shoulder, the parchment of the book, there we go, and the skull on the staff. As well as these little ties just here and the cord on his other shoulder. With that then done, it's going to seem a little bit counterintuitive, but it will make sense in a little bit, is that we're going to take some Imperial Fist. And we're going to apply this over top of this remaining bit of cloth down here. So if you look at the box art, This is white with a yellow banding. But rather than paint the yellow banding in, we're going to paint the white in. Like so. But what we can also do with the Imperial Fist is apply this over the top of the cord here as well. Just add a little hint of yellow in there over the top of the skeleton horde. With that then done, we're going to take a really small amount of Shyish Purple, not very much here at all, and we're just going to run this over the top of the grip of his combat knife. Just in there. Like that. And so with that done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over, well, pretty much all the remaining details. Now there is going to be a pile of gold in there, so things like the bolt pistol casing, that's all gold. But the mechanical details of it are in fact going to be silver. But we do also have things like various chains and the decoration on his boots, the haft of the staff. There's a lot of silver. So again, just check out the box art. Use that as a guide for where you should put all your silver. And so with all of that Iron Warriors applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the remaining details. So with that all done, we've got all of our base coats on Eisenhorn, so it's time to add some shades. And, well, I've lied to you, we've not got all of the base coats on, because this is now going to be one of them, but it is our shade. So we're going to be using some Nuln Oil, and we're going to use this over the top of the white sash. Just there, like that. And then, we're also going to use the Nuln Oil over the top of all of the silver, all of the black, all of the red, and the blue. With all that Nuln Oil applied, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade. I'm going to use this to shade all the gold. So with all those shades applied, Eisenhorn is now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. He's looking pretty cool. However, I'm not going to leave him there now. I'm going to take him to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. Now the first of these is going to be some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the black. I'm just going to start just here on this sleeve. Like so. Then I'm going to start working my way around. With all that Dawnstone applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Administratum Grey. I'm going to apply this to the sharpest points, once again, on all the black details. So with that Administratum Grey applied, what we're then going to do is take some thinned down Corax White. I'm going to use this to do 3 different things. So, first thing we're going to do is on his hair, just here around the corners, around the temples, I'm going to add a little strip. Like that. And like that sort of thing. Then, in addition, what we're going to do with the Corax White is going to use this to highlight the sash. Around his tummy. Like that sort of thing. But, as we talked about it earlier, down here, on this yellow cloth, what we want to do is we want to firstly pick out the edge. Like that. And do the same along the bottom. And then what we want to do is we want to block it in whilst just leaving a small strip of yellow around the edge. So with that Corax White all applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Hoeth Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight the trousers. With that Hoeth Blue applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet. I'm going to use this to highlight all the red. And so with that done, just like before with the Administratum Grey, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Cadian Fleshtone. I'm going to apply this to the sharpest points of the red. So with that all done, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Bloodreaver Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight the brown. And with that Bloodreaver Flesh applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Flayed One Flesh. I'm going to use this to highlight Gregor's face. With that Flayed One Flesh applied, we're then going to take some Black Legion. I'm going to apply this over the top of his eyeballs. With that Black Legion applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Screaming Skull. I'm going to use this to highlight the paper, the skull, the rope, and we're going to use this to apply the white of his eyes by taking a tiny little dot and applying it in the corners. Just like that sort of thing. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. And so with that Ironbreaker applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold. So with that done, Eisenhorn is now finished. So what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly work on his base, and we're going to start by taking some Black Templar, and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the rock. But what we're going to try and do is avoid the Inquisitorial eye right in the middle. So with all that Black Templar applied, we're then going to take some Volupus Pink. We're going to apply this to the rock on the inside of the eye. And with that then done, we're going to once again take some Imperial Fist. And we're going to apply this over top of the outline of the eye. And with that done, we're then going to take some Basilicanum Grey, and we're going to apply this over the top of the rock, not rock, soil. Around the outside. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde. I'm going to apply this over the top of the skull, just down here. But we're also going to use this to shade the pink and the yellow. And the little skull right under his boot. Like that. And so with that done, we're then going to take some Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over top of the rebar. And the bullet casings. And so with that done, what we're then going to do is take some Astro Granite. I'm going to apply this to all of the negative space around the outside of the base, and then, because we've done it so many times before, we're going to give the whole thing a dry brush of Tyrant's Skull. And so with that base now complete, Eisenhorn is now finished, and well, he's been knocking around for a while, and he's a resin relic from Bygone Age. It was quite fun to paint him. I've recently listened to the books for the first time, in fact, and I've been really enjoying them, so it was really nice to actually paint him with a bit of inspiration behind it, so that's always a good thing. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.